All right, what's up, nerds? Welcome back to another YouTube video where Rocket League is looking to run at 10% speed for whatever reason, but we're back to 100% now, and I'm wearing orange today. This is a very special occasion. This is the first Passion University, also known by its less popular name of Syracuse University, and they made their reappearance in the 2025-2026 calendar school year thing in Power Esports Conference play against Michigan State. Same lineup for Syracuse. Not the case for Michigan State, though, which we'll talk about in a second. But Syracuse did end up winning this match. It was a 3-0 sweep. We'll be watching the first two games and then just watching all the goals in Game 3 because it was a schmacking that Syracuse levied upon this Michigan State lineup, which is missing Drewy for my keen-eyed viewers. Knock is in the lineup now as Drewy has transferred to Northwood. I made a video yesterday on Zanil and his transferring to Baylor to complete what is now a D1 super team that will be dominating the Power Esports Conference, dominating probably NACE, maybe outside of Maryville, which we'll cover them later on. But they'll be doing a lot of dominating. And so here in Game 1, Michigan State really do look like they're trying to figure it out without Drewy. This was a domino effect that left the Spartans hurting, and that's not to say that Knock is a bad player. Michigan State, I still think, will be a top 25 roster, no doubt about it, because Opbom, I mean, we know his skill level as an individual. And then Morvu and Knock are both experienced at this point grinders in the scholastic and ranked space. So I've got no doubts that Michigan State will. About to go double negative there. I've got no doubts that Michigan State will be a top team. And we got to sort out that logic puzzle in my head. But I don't think they'll be a top 15 team or top 20 team like they were in the fall. I think it'll be top 25 to start. Maybe petering around 30, and then as Coach Jimmer sort of figures out what this trio looks like and how to work with them again, because this was the lineup previously. They just spent a semester or so grinding with Drewy in the lineup. Once Jimmer figures this team out again, figures out how to navigate the collegiate landscape with this lineup once more, then I think they'll be able to climb up the rankings again. But with all the influx of talent at the top, like Beastie going to Lubbock Christian, Zanil at Baylor, Arju at Maryville, like there are squads that weren't above Michigan State that will be now, which should knock them down a little bit. But they'll sort it out. I really love Michigan State as a program, and I really respect these three players especially, and their game sense first of all, and their passion for improvements. Though losing Drewy could be a knock to Opbom Morvu maybe. I don't know. That's total speculation on my part. Morvu is very much a grinder. I don't know what Opbom's mentality is like because I haven't spoken to him about that sort of stuff like I have Morvu. So we'll see what happens in Michigan State. But I'm wearing orange, so this video should be about Syracuse more, because they did win the series. They won their debut, and they were one of the hot stories. I love this 50-50, by the way. I watched this live on stream. Follow me, Mr. Bepic, on Twitch, and I watched this live and loved this goal from Gababy here. I'm gonna switch to his cam just in case Director Cam decides to screw with me. It goes up for a little tap down, just applying extra pressure on the goal line here, which keeps the two defenders kind of stagnant there. So Opbom will be the first one up, knocks right behind him, and Opbom tries to clear it, doesn't have a ton of boost, so he can't really keep control, and so it taps out. And now with that demo on the goal line, Knock's been taken out, so Tiz goes backboard with it. Probably could have taken a shot, but Morvu was watching the line, so Tiz tries the double and drops it down perfectly for Gababy. I don't know if this was intentional or if he just missed the double tap, but Gababy, instead of just trying to force straight into Opbom, he understands that off bomb's positioning and low boost situation means that if he delays himself just a little bit, he can push through off bomb, and instead of taking a head-on 50-50, let the ball come to him, and because off bomb can't really correct with boost momentum or anything like that, it's a goal. So I love that from Bepic, and we'll watch this goal from Michigan State. It is their last one of the game because it's off bomb doing off bomb things. He just cuts Syracuse up right there. And I'm wondering if that will be more of what he has to do this season without his dual threats teammate in Drewy next to him. But we'll see, because off bomb definitely took more of a back seat when it came to first manning. Like we saw him kind of erupt onto the collegiate scene in that role about a year and a half ago now. And so I'm wondering how he'll sort of adapt to returning to this Morvu knock and off bomb lineup. But game 2 now, Syracuse already scoring, just keeping it going. Off bomb at the highlight with about a minute left, and that's really all Michigan State had to show for game 1. Some good pressure early on, but once Syracuse really got rolling, then this is a lot more of what it looked like. Them operating their offense, how they want to operate their offense, and Michigan State's defense was kind of left reacting. And so going into to game 2 now, we'll see where we go. I'm waiting to pick up a friend from the auto shop, which is why I keep glancing off to the side, because I decided to make this video when I probably should have been like at the ready to go pick him up, but this is more important right now. I saw the orange sweatshirt in the closet and took that as a sign. It's new, by the way, so I feel like if I'm going to a LAN where Syracuse is playing, I might have to rock it if they do some winning. I don't often wear sweatshirts on broadcast, but I think I can make an exception for Passion University, because they look good so far. And I mean, they were one of the best stories, I think, of the fall semester. Like Syracuse, they've kind of dipped their toes into being competitive when they had that Mason Star, Patrick, and Gavilan lineup a couple years ago now. They were good in CCS, but not great. And then Syracuse got more funding for their esports program. They built that beautiful facility in their student center, which if you haven't seen it, definitely have a look. I'm sure there are pictures online somewhere. Pictures on my Twitter if you want to scroll back far. But they've really invested in esports now. They get Bepic to sign with them when he starts his freshman year, and he has no support next to him, like C3, GC1, GC2 players playing alongside him, so they didn't do much. But that whole year, and sometime prior as well, Bepic spent time actively recruiting Lesser and Tiz, two players that he knew he liked playing with, to Syracuse. And the program made it happen. They had to stretch to get enough scholarship money and funding allocated to get these guys to the program, but it paid off big time in the fall. They took the world by storm. And weren't exactly like a top 10 roster, but the fact that it was their first semester playing together, they've got young players. All three of these guys are underclassmen right now. Tiz and Lesser are a freshman, Bepic's a sophomore. And they're really passionate guys, hence the nickname Passion University that I think they coined for themselves, but it stuck as the community kind of latched on when they started getting big wins. And I mean, Tiz and Lesser at the start of the fall were putting in like 120 past 2 and it surfaced in plays like this. Like, that is clean, and that's Bepic setting that up, but the entire team have been grinding and they look great. Like, this is a stomping. This is game 2. Game 3 is even worse than this, but we'll switch to fly cam, watch these last couple of goals here, see what Michigan State can take away from the end of a game 2 that has not gone their way. But now they are starting to stretch a little bit. Op bomb on the ball, shut down by Tiz there. Syracuse is well set up on the near side, but now the play's breaking down a little bit. Michigan State's got some space to work with, and maybe actually gets baited into creeping off the goal line right there. And you don't see that often. Maybe he's a very good defender. But Michigan State taking advantage of that mistake, and they've actually got a chance here in game 2. And this is a series that I know mattered to both teams, because when they played their PEC match in the fall against each other, it was on LAN in the Syracuse facility. That was the PEC kickoff event that I referenced a lot on my YouTube channel when it was happening. And I know Syracuse, like there was some back and forth prior to that series. Syracuse wanted to win it bad. Michigan State came in. They beat them in front of an electric home crowd. Like the walkouts from that series were awesome. The Syracuse esports facility was filled with Syracuse students. We had like a college game day-esque pre-show, and we had a glass backdrop behind us. And doing the pre-show, and there were Syracuse students that were getting hyped. Like what's his name? Otto the Orange was behind us at one point. It was awesome. And then Michigan State comes out and beats them, and Boise State ends up winning the event. It was a 4-team single elim bracket. Boise State ends up winning the championship against Michigan State, but still, Michigan State and Syracuse, that's a rivalry that most people probably don't know about. So I know both teams wanted to win this, and Syracuse looked the part. They were able to capitalize the most on that kind of pride on the line, inspiring them to perform here. Like, look at that! Look at that! Like, that is so clean. And it's Gababy doing it too. Like when I was prepping for that LAN, talking to Tiz and Lester, like the inside jokes on this team was like, yeah, Tiz and Lester are mechanically sound, but Gababy's like the weak link per se. Like he doesn't grind quite as much. He's a bit more active on campus, being that he's been there for an extra year, and so he doesn't play as much. And so his mechanics sometimes lag behind, but he's doing that in the opening week. This is their first official of the spring semester. And Gababy's pulling off goals like that. So I know the boys were very happy to see that. And this was streamed as well on the Syracuse Esports YouTube channel, I should say. As, like, look at that. That's a heavy double tap. That sets up Gababy for another goal. Crazy from Lester. This is just turning into a Syracuse highlight reel, but they streamed it on Syracuse Esports on their YouTube channel, which I feel like I have to shout out. Because that's where I watched it live on my stream. So definitely give them a follow if you're a fan of Fun Rocket League, because that's what these guys have really brought to CRL, and I'm excited to watch their sophomore semester unfold now, because this is where everyone's grinding for the championships, the PEC for these guys, CECC potentially, depending on the motivations of the program. Because Syracuse, well, I actually don't know if the ACC has a bid again this semester. I don't recall. They have in the past, and Syracuse has elected not to compete or lost, because it was Pitt representing the ACC at CECC last semester, or last season rather. So I don't know what'll happen right there. That's for me to sort out in the next couple weeks' time, but 4-0, 20 seconds left, victory lap for the Orange, and Michigan State are trying to get something going, but it ain't happening. We'll watch this final goal just to really seal this series with an exclamation point, and it's Tiz and Gababy together. Oh, look at that passing play, full team action, finding Lester down the field. So good. Syracuse looked good. Michigan State may be dropping out of the top 15, but Syracuse might be filling their spot, honestly. They are starting the season off hot. So we'll see how it continues. I'll be starting my show matches back on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week. Should be multi-streaming to YouTube and Twitch, but follow me on both. Subscribe on YouTube at Mr. Bepic. Subscribe on Twitch, or follow whatever the word is on Twitch. It's Mr. Bepic there as well. I think Syracuse will be playing. Michigan State will be playing as well. Not each other, different opponents, but we'll see them in action there. So thanks for watching as always. I'll see you in the next one.